Hello everybody, good morning to Selenium, good morning and welcome to Selenium demo session. So are you able to see my screen? Just see this one, when the session starts you cannot hear me and just follow these instructions. If you are unable to hear me, just follow these instructions. And this session will be recorded and you will be notified via email when it is available. And if you have any questions or concerns about the slides, whatever I am showing, just you can raise a question. So you will have a questions box there and you can type in your question. For each and every slide, once I am finished with the slide, I will give you a couple of seconds or 4 to 5 seconds to answer all your questions. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll start our session. And to remind you, your every participant will be on mute. And if you have any question, you can type in the questions box. So okay guys, let's start the session. And before going to in details of Selenium automation tool, I would like to explain you what is automation and what are the different tools available in the market for automation. Then I will explain you about the Selenium. Okay. So first, test automation means using a software tool to run repeatable tests. So when we will run repeatable test, so whenever we have a regression or we have a release, then we are going to run the test cases. So regression is nothing but whenever a new functionality is added to your application, then you need to make sure that existing functionality is not broken. So then we will do a regression testing. So instead of spending more manual effort on regression testing, so we can use a tool to run all those manual test cases. So that is nothing but a test automation. And as I just told you, there are so many tools available in the market. So some of them are commercial and some of them are open source tools. So commercial in the sense you need to pay for the tool. So the best example for commercial tool is QTP. And open source tools are nothing but you need not to pay anything. Like some of the organizations are contributing code to it and the tool is for free for you. So you need not to pay anything for it. And coming to open source tool, Selenium is possibly the most widely used open source solution in automation tools. And if you have any questions in this, just ping me in the questions. Yeah, I am going to the next slide now. So why we are going for automation? Because this automation is having some advantages. So what are the different advantages of automation or the manual testing? So these are the list of advantages. See, and now I am just giving a brief explanation about all the course content and what you are going to get. So but from next class onwards you will be getting a detailed notes on each and every topic what we discussed today. And so these are the list of advantages of automation in the frequent regression testing. See, some of the websites, like if you take any e-commerce website, so you will have frequent releases. Let's say, so I'm taking a Flipkart as my website or my application, and whenever a festival season, they will release some coupons or discount cards and everything. So whenever they have released a discount coupon, so that means I need to verify all the all the regression test cases. So because to make sure that new functionality is not broken or existing functionality is working as expected. So whenever we have frequent regression testing, instead of spending time on manual, we can use automation tools. In the next one, a rapid feedback to developers. So let's assume I have around 100 test cases. If I want to execute all the 100 test cases manually, it will take 2 days for me. But if I use an automation tool, it will be done within 1 day or within less than 1 day. So that I can send the feedback. Whenever I get any error, I can send that feedback to the developer. Or any bug, I can log that bug using a bug tracking tool. Okay. Virtually unlimited iterations of test case executions. And there is no limitation for the execution. You can run regression test cases by using automation tool any number of times. There is no limitation for it. And it supports agile and extreme development methodologies. And this automation is not specifically for a particular methodology. It can be used for any of the methodology. Like agile is the latest one. You can use it for V model, agile model, or anything. And next one is disciplined documentation of test cases. See, generally whenever you are writing it manually, we'll try to write something, enter username, enter password, click the login button. But if you go for any automation scripting, so that will be in more detail. Like before entering username, you will make sure that whether the username field is available or not. And before typing into username text box for password field, you will make sure whether the password field is available or not. And even after logging also, you will make sure like whether the title is matching or the expected text is available or not. So that's the reason disciplined documentation of test cases. Test cases will be very clear. And customized defect reporting. So customized defect reporting means whenever we are working on manual testing, you will update some Excel sheets or sending for a reporting. So but if you use any automation tool, you will have a help of a language. In case of Selenium, you can use Java, C#, anything. In case of QTP, you have to use VB scripting or Java scripting. So by that scripting, by that language, you can create a customized report. Like I can create bar graphs, charts, or HTML reports like that. Okay. and finding defects missed by manual testing. So this is the main advantage of automation. So whenever we are working manually, we might skip some of the spell mistakes or some of the small things. But if you are doing it with the automation tool, you will not miss anything. So let me give an example for this one. See, I'm having something like I entered my banking credentials, entered username and password, and I'm expecting a welcome message of welcome XYZ. But unfortunately, it has logged in with some other person's credential, like welcome to XYZA. So, but whenever you are doing a manual testing, you might be overlooking that. The spell mistakes or extra letters you might be overlooking. But if you are doing it with a tool, so it will not allow you to go further. Whenever there is a mistake of something, welcome message, there is some mistake with the assertion, so then it is going to throw an error. So that is the advantage with automation. Yeah, please go through this one and let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So I'm going to the next one. So these are the popular tools available in the market. So QTP, the above ones, the 4 ones are licensed versions. You need to pay for it. Runorite, Silk Test, and Test Complete. So not only these 4, there are so many tools, but these are the popular tools available in the market. These are licensed versions. You need to pay for it. But so what is Selenium, Sahi, Sikuli? These are all the open source tools. You need not to pay anything for these tools. You can download from the net and you can install, you can use these tools for your automation. Okay. And now, so what is Selenium? So Selenium is a suite of tools to automate web application testing across many platforms. And you need to remember, when you are working with Selenium, it is only for web application, not for desktop applications. But if you take QTP, Quick Test Professional, it can be used for web applications as well as the desktop applications. And Selenium is not a single tool, it's a suite of tools. Like it's a group of tools. I'm going to explain you what are the different tools available in Selenium. And so why the Selenium is the best open source tool? Because it doesn't have any cost attached to it, and it is a freeware. You can download it n number of times, you can install it on n number of machines. And by using Selenium, I can automate simple web applications to complex web applications. Simple web application in the sense, I can say it's a personal website which is having around 4 to 5 static pages. So complex web application in the sense, some of the banking applications or insurance applications. And the brief history of the Selenium is, it was created by ThoughtWorks earlier in 2004, and nowadays so many companies are contributing code to it, like Mozilla, Google, SAS Labs, and some other individual contributors are contributing code to it. And the advantage with this one is, it can be used for compatibility testing, functional and regression testing. Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions in this slide. Okay, I'm moving on to the next slide. Right. So these are the list of advantages of Selenium compared to any other tools, either open source or licensed versions. Open source, free software, and easy installation. I'll show you how to install Selenium now. It is taking less than 15 seconds to install Selenium. And is it record and playback? So as in other automation tools, it is also having record and playback feature. And it supports multiple operating systems. So there is, like, let's assume if you want to install it in a Mac machine, yeah, you can install Selenium on Mac machine. And you can install it on Linux machine, Windows, Solaris, any operating system it supports. And it supports multiple browser testing. If you want to run your test case in Internet Explorer or Firefox or Chrome or Safari, yes, you can run your script on different browsers. So that Selenium supports. And you can write or convert your scripts into other languages. Let's assume you are proficient in Java. Then you can write your script in Java. If somebody is proficient in C#, they can write their script in C#. So it provides the flexibility of writing your test cases in other languages. And these three are the main features of Selenium compared to other tools. So these three tools are main features of Selenium. So supports multiple operating system, supports multiple browser, and can write or convert scripts into other languages. Okay. And next. So the main motto of Selenium is this one. Script once, run on multiple browsers. So for Firefox or Internet Explorer, you need not to write different scripts. Only one script that can be used across the browser. And as I just told you, it supports multiple functions like multiple testings like functional testing, compatibility, and regression testing. So compatibility is nothing but like cross-browser testing or cross-platform testing, because it supports multiple operating systems and multiple browsers. So any questions on this? If you have any questions, please type in questions box. Okay, I'm moving on to the next slide. And so these are the different flavors of Selenium. Selenium IDE, remote control, grid, and WebDriver. So each and every tool serves a separate purpose. You can use them individually or else you can combine and use them. So each and every tool has its own purpose. Okay. So Selenium IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. Let me show you that. See, this is Selenium IDE and this is used for record and playback purpose. And this is an add-on for Firefox. That means you can install it only in Firefox and you can run scripts only in Firefox. You can record or playback, everything can be done in only Firefox. And it supports HTML language, and this provides a feature of converting your scripts into other languages. So it will be recorded in HTML, but the scripts can be converted into Java or C# or Python or Perl. So Ruby or any language you can convert it. So now I will show you a sample script in Selenium IDE, how it looks like. So let me record a sample test case here. So I am recording. I am going to bing.com and searching for WebDriver. So go into Selenium site and there I am clicking on documentation, about, and again clicking news or blog, like this. Go into some other links. And if you see here, everything is recorded. But as I told you, everything is not recorded in HTML, right? But if you go to source in the back end, so it will be recorded in HTML language. See, you see all the TDs and TRs. So it's done in HTML language. And for our visibility and easy understandable purpose, they have converted this into table format. Now, I'll stop the recording and let me play back it. I'm playing back now. See, what are the actions I have recorded, everything will be repeated here. And you can see in the logs, so each and every test case is executing. And you can see a mini report also. So how it is like passed or failed, everything can be shown here. And as I told you, you can convert script into other language. If you go to options, format, see these are the different formats available. Let's assume I want to convert it into Java. See, the code, everything, whatever recorded in HTML is converted into Java language. And I can convert it into Python. See, this is a Python language. So because Selenium IDE is already having all the formatters, it will automatically convert the script into other language. And if I want to come back again, I can go to HTML. So this is how Selenium IDE works. So any questions in this? Yeah, please. If you have any question, please type in the questions box. And remember, this is only a brief introduction. In the coming classes, you will be having detailed sessions about each and every tool, whatever we are discussing now. Okay, right. I'm going to next slide. Yeah, this is Selenium RC. Selenium RC is Selenium Remote Control. As I told you, Selenium can be worked with the different operating systems and different browsers. See, if you observe here, can run tests in many browsers. So Selenium IDE is restricted only for Firefox. But this Selenium RC, yes, you can run script on different browsers and can write script in many languages. It supports many languages and it supports many browsers. See here at the bottom, you can see they have written code in some other language, Java, Ruby, PHP, Python or something. And in the above you are seeing the browsers. But in between the browser and the language you have written, there is a remote control server. So which will convert your instructions into browser understandable language. And this is a self-starter. You need not to start your browser. Based on the syntax you have given, it will automatically start your browser. And it uses a language like Java, C# or any, so that you can create for loops or if conditions, you can connect to database, you can create a customized reports. Everything can be done in Selenium RC. Okay. And the problem with the Selenium RC, it is having some of the drawbacks. So while handling onload alerts, or handling the native events or mouse movements and everything, there is some problem. To overcome that problem, they have released another version of Selenium, that is Selenium Webdriver. So that is Selenium Webdriver. And Selenium RC is officially deprecated. So that means there is no more improvement in Selenium RC. So Selenium organization recommending the Selenium Webdriver. If you see the difference between Selenium RC and Webdriver, and this is the one. So Selenium RC, the above one I am showing is Selenium RC. It can be called as Selenium 1.0 also. So the code, and this is the Selenium server. You need to start your Selenium server, and this is the browser you have chosen, and your application is running on that particular browser. But coming to Webdriver, so you have written a code and there is no Selenium server. You need not to start your Selenium server, and the code whatever you have written, that can be directly understandable by the browser. Based on the browser like Firefox or IE, Chrome, it can be directly understandable. So that is the main difference between Selenium RC and Webdriver. And Webdriver has more features compared to Selenium RC. So we will going to discuss more features in Webdriver in the next slides. But the latest version and the best version of Selenium is this one, Selenium Webdriver. So whoever is starting newly, they can use Selenium Webdriver. And coming to Grid, so Selenium Grid is another tool in Selenium, so which allows us to run your scripts in parallel. If you take Selenium RC or Webdriver or Selenium IDE, you can run a single test case at a time. But if you use Selenium Grid, you can run your scripts in parallel. Like say the big box here is a hub, and this is, let's assume this is Windows machine and this is my Linux machine. I can run the same test case in two different machines at the same time. So that means parallelly I can do it. Or else I have 100 test cases. I can distribute those test cases, 50 test cases in one machine, another 50 test cases in another machine. So that is also possible using Selenium Grid. So any questions? So any questions related to this Selenium WebDriver, RC or Grid? If you guys don't have any question, we'll move on. And in any automation tool, locating objects is very important. And we don't have any object spy in Selenium. We need to identify locators on our own. So there is no object spy here. So for that, let's say you want to see the HTML code. Let me show you Selenium IDE script. This is how it looks like. See, Selenium IDE, it's showing some ID equal to something, some / link equal to, and every CSS equal to. These are the different ways to locate an element. So in order to locate that element, you need to see the HTML code of that particular element. So that can be viewed by using these add-ons. For Firefox, we have Firebird. For IE Debug Bar. For Google Chrome, we have Google Chrome Developer. For Safari and Opera, we have they have their own tools to locate an element. And these are the different ways you can identify the element. Finding element by ID, finding element by name, finding element by class name, link text, XPath and CSS. So this XPath and CSS are very important in order to locate an element. Okay, where we use Selenium Grid? Okay, somebody asked me a question, where we use Selenium Grid? So Selenium Grid generally we will use whenever application, let's assume I am a customer and I have an application. I want to make sure my application is working on different browsers and even different operating systems also. And for every time I don't want to waste my time. So let's assume I have 100 test cases and I want to run all those 100 test cases same time on different platforms. Like 100 test cases in Windows 7 on IE and 100 test cases on Firefox Linux machine. So then we will use a grid because the testing can be done parallelly. So both the test cases will run parallel. So there we will use Selenium Grid. If you want cross browser testing and cross platform testing, then you can go for Selenium Grid. Okay. Yeah. So we'll move on to the next one. These are the different ways so we can identify the elements. And where we will use XPath and CSS if the objects doesn't have objects have same attributes and two objects attributes changing dynamically and the element has no attribute. So these are the situations where we will go for XPath or CSS. So we are going to discuss in detail in the coming classes, but now it's a brief introduction only. And so as Selenium IDE has a record and playback feature, why we are going for different like Selenium RC or WebDriver? Why we are going for it? Because it can run test only on Firefox, and it has certain limitation like you cannot write conditional statements, iterations, reporting of test results, error handling, and the database testing, screenshot capturing and test failures. So those features are not available in Selenium IDE. So but the framework design and everything cannot, the reusable functions can be done using Selenium IDE. So to overcome all those limitations, we will go for Selenium RC or WebDriver. And RC is officially deprecated, so we have to go for Selenium WebDriver. Yeah, if you have any question, please type in questions box. So the next slide explains you about the advantages of Selenium WebDriver compared to Selenium RC. So Selenium RC, we need to start the server, but in Selenium WebDriver, no need of starting server. You need not to start your Selenium server. And it supports mobile web applications testing, even Android and iPhone drivers. So Selenium WebDriver has a feature to support mobile web applications. So it has Android driver and iPhone driver. You can test your applications on Android and iPhone also. And it is more object oriented. That means you will have all the object oriented concepts in WebDriver. It is more faster than Selenium RC, and because we don't have any server in between, whatever the code you have written, it will directly interact with the browser. So there is no middleware in the between. And there are many ways to identify the objects. And you can handle the onload alerts also. And what are the problems in Selenium RC, you can overcome by using Selenium WebDriver. Okay, these are some of the advantages of WebDriver. So improved features and functionality which were not supported in Selenium 1.0. Selenium 1.0 is nothing but Selenium RC. So no need to start Selenium server. Added advantage to support iPhone and Android testing. Similar to QTP, it allows you to extract the objects in bulk. Let's assume if you want to get how many links are available in a web page. So that is very easy in Selenium WebDriver. You can get the number of links available in a web page, or number of text boxes available in a web page. So that is very easy in WebDriver. It supports features like page navigation, drag and drop, and Ajax based UI elements. So the native events I'm talking about. So whenever you are using your mouse, drag and drop, Ajax based contents, so mouse over on any of the element, everything can be done easily in WebDriver. And using WebDriver, it is easy to find out the coordinates of any object. That's if you want to see what is the coordinates of the object, that is very easy. And WebDriver is an open source, and it allows you to easily integrate testing frameworks like JUnit and TestNG. So you can integrate JUnit and TestNG unit testing frameworks with WebDriver. It allows you to simulate the mouse movements, provide readability between the browsers, reliability between browsers, and most feature like implementation of listeners. And in Selenium WebDriver, they have implemented even listeners also. So we are going to discuss about all these features in the next classes. Okay, and please let me know if you have any questions in this WebDriver features. I'm going to the next slide. And as I told you, there are many ways you can identify elements by using ID, name, link text, partial link text, CSS, XPath, class name, and tag name. So these are the different ways to identify an object. If you want to perform any action on the object, first you need to identify. And these are ways. Like we have 8 ways to identify an object. Okay. And next. And Selenium WebDriver using unit testing frameworks. We have a couple of unit testing frameworks, that is JUnit and TestNG. In our course, we are going to discuss about even JUnit and TestNG, how to configure JUnit and TestNG in your Eclipse, and how to create a test case, test suite, and reporting, and everything will be discussed in detail about the TestNG. What are the different features of TestNG? What are the advantages of TestNG compared to JUnit, and everything will be discussed. And this is how the JUnit report looks like. So by using AND, you can create a JUnit report. This is how it looks like. So how many test cases are passed, how many test cases are run, how many passed, and how many are failed, and even how much time it has taken. And these are all hyperlinks. Whenever you click on some error link, it is going to navigate you to the error page where the error occurs, and even you can capture the screenshot and a failure. Okay, and this is how your TestNG report looks like. So this is how your TestNG reports. Even it is pretty much similar to JUnit report, It shows how many methods are passed, how many are failed, and it shows you why it is failed. So you can see whenever it is red color, when I click this one, it is showing some error here. So at the rate test validation something. Okay. This is how the test NG report looks like. And finally, we are going to learn about the framework. So once we are done with all the WebDriver concepts, so we are going to learn about the framework. So customized WebDriver commands, utility functions, object repository, test data, reports, business functions, and scripts. So these are all the different packages available in your framework. Like customized WebDriver command in the sense. So instead of writing every time the WebDriver command, we can customize to according to our need. And utility functions, it contains how to read data from external source, or the reporting related functions will be available in this utility. So the framework which we are going to discuss is that is hybrid framework. So functional decomposition plus data driven framework. Okay, let me show you some of the reports. So this is how the report looks like. So if you want, you can create bar charts, or if you want, you can create line graphs. So whatever you want. And this is the detailed report. This is a summary report which I am talking, like it shows me how many methods are passed or how many are failed, and this is how it looks like. So this is the detailed report, the step which is going to start, what is the expected value, actual value, and how much time it has taken. And if something is failed, it is going to capture the screenshot also, and it will give you the detailed explanation why it is failed. Okay. So these kind of reports can be generated by using this Selenium Webdriver, by using TestNG and Java. Okay. And as I told you, Selenium Grid, we can run 2 tests in 2 different browsers, so that it can be used to reduce the time. And if you want, you can do a cross-platform testing. The same test case you can run on 2 different browsers. And, let me show you some of the sample programs which I have. And let me show you some Selenium RC script here. Okay, I'm talking about these drop downs. Okay. If you want to run it in, it has created in JUnit, so I'm running it. So run as JUnit test. See, it is running in Selenium RC. So it started Selenium RC server and is launching the browser. See, everything is working on Firefox now. So here I fill something and check boxes. And once it is passed, it shows us what is the report of this one. So this is in Selenium RC. So I am going to explain you in detailed manner what is how to declare the variables and how to create your script on your own, and even how to download this Eclipse and what are the jar files required for us. Everything will be given. And I am talking about this report, index.html. If you see, this is the old report, and in this 5 test cases are passed, 5 test cases are run, nothing failure, 100% success rate. Whenever I click something, so it is going to show me what are the different test cases available. If you go to test suite, so these are the different methods or scripts which I have run. It shows me how much time it took, and if something fails, it is going to show why it is failed. And even you can capture the screenshot on the failure. And please let me know if you have any questions in this. And now, so let me show you some drag and drop features. Okay. So I'm running it now. So it will open some jQuery site. So jQuery in the HTML5 are the latest technology. See, I'm running it in Internet Explorer. So it will click and it will drag that square to some distance. See, it dragged it. So these are the new technologies in our website application building, and it can be easily handled by Selenium Webdriver. And now, as I told you, it is useful for cross-browser testing. See, now I will not change any code, just I will change the browser type. See, I'm just commenting this IE and I'm trying to run it in Firefox. See, I'm not changing any logic here, just changing the browser syntax. If I run it, see, the same script is running in Firefox now. See, the same thing. So you can make sure that our script is working on two different browsers by using this simply. You can parameterize the browser type in some external files and you can see the reports. And yeah, so this one, let me show you. If you go to this particular website, so these are HTTPS sites, secured website. If I open this one, so these are some ones. The report you shown is created by Ant or WebDriver. So the report which I showed is created by Ant. WebDriver will not create any reports. So WebDriver is only for executing the test cases. It will not create any reports. That report has been created by Ant. Yeah. I'm talking about the secure site. So whenever you log in every time, it is going to show you this one, the HTTP security site, secured page. So in order to overcome, that can be done easily by using WebDriver. So you have just use some JavaScript in order to click on that particular link, and if I run this, now it's going to execute in IE and it will overcome that security issue. Even HTTPS sites also can be handled by using WebDriver. See, now we are able to click on that and navigate it to the original website. And we can do data-driven testing also. See, I'm trying to read data from Excel sheet. Let me show the Excel sheet here. See, this particular data is read from the Excel sheet. Let me run it. So it will launch the Firefox browser and it will open Bing. And the data which I have given will read one after the other. So first Rhinorex, and next I'm trying to read QTP from Excel sheet, and again I read Selenium. So one after the another I can read whatever the data I want. If you want some extra data, you can just come here and you can add a number of rows, whatever rows you want, or else if you want you can delete the rows, whatever you want. Data-driven testing also can be done by using this one. So because we have a support of language, Java language, it will provide how to read data from Excel sheets and everything. And even handling multiple windows. See, let me open up this website. We go to Right Start website. So whenever I click my Our Blog, see, it is going to open a new window or new tab. So that can be easily handled by WebDriver. So WebDriver has a new feature that is to handle new windows. or new tabs or pop-ups, and it can handle the alerts also. Whenever you have an alert, you can handle that alert. So these are all the different sample scripts you are going to see in our sessions, and even it can be used for page up and page down key simulations. So let me open this. Let me run this test case. So it will open Bing and type search for something, and now it will go into page down and page up. So you can simulate the keyboard actions by using Webdriver. So it will page down now. Yeah, page down. Now, now it's going to page up. Okay. So this is what you are going to get. And let me show you the framework. See, these are the different components you will get in the framework, like business functions, config, customizer commands, object repository, and different scripts available. So you will have all the packages, and even test data you can read it from Excel sheet or whatever the data you want, and you can connect to database also. Let's assume you have some information in database, you can get it from that database also. 1 second, let me show you the report. So these are the reports. So as I told you, you can get it in charts, bar charts, align graphs, and whenever I click on run this, it is going to show me detail when it has been executed and what is the person, whether it is passed or failed, and what are the different methods available here. And whenever I click this one, it shows so whether it's failed or passed, and what is the name. You can customize all these things, but you can get it. What is the OS you are, what is the version of Java, and everything will be given here. Actually, this is the old report, that's why it doesn't contain anything. But see, whenever something fails, it is going to take a screenshot. So here, this is the screenshot, and if you see the status is something element not found. So this is the error we are going to get. So this is a old report. I don't have a current one. And apart from this, you are going to learn what is Maven and how to install Maven in your machine, and what is the use of Ant, how to use Ant, and everything you are going to get. Apart from this, so we are going to provide you a material, and after each and every class we are going to send all the. So after each and every class, I will send you all the scripts which we have discussed and the corresponding slides, whatever we have, and we'll give some of the assignments related to that particular topic. So that's it from my side, and if you have any question, please let me know. Yeah, please type in these questions if you have any questions. And I forgot to tell you, once we are done with Selenium IDE, we are going to learn about some Java basics also, so which are required for writing Selenium scripts. Even I will take three to four classes of Java basics. So before starting Selenium Webdriver. So do we need programming skills? So I got a question, do we need programming skills? One second. So do we need programming skills? Yes. So you require some of the programming skills because see, whenever you are trying to write a logic, if you have a test data in Excel sheet and you want to read the test data from Excel sheet. So for that purpose, you need to have some programming skills. So don't worry about all the programming skills. So we are going to cover all the basics of Java. You don't require any advanced Java. You don't require any advanced Java. You require only core Java. So that is like writing small if conditions, for loops. So how to handle the exceptions and what are the different types of oops concept. So in order to develop your framework, so that you need to do it by using the oops concept, inheritance, what is interface, and what are the encapsulation techniques. So that can be. But the programming skills are required. So, but I'll make sure that everybody knows about this Java and everything, because the classes which I'm going to take will cover all the basics of Java. And the next question, will you tell me how this works in real time? Yes. So whatever the test cases I am working is going to take a real website. See, I have taken a real time project, that is writestart.com. So this is the production site, like you can so this is in live environment. All the examples, most of the times I'll try to take in writestart.com, and even I'm going to use different websites also for covering all the examples. So how this is going to work in real time is, at the end of these sessions we are going to create a framework, so which all the companies does. So whenever you go to a new company, you will have a framework. So if you are good at writing the framework, or what are the different reusable functions you can write, so that will be very helpful while you are working in real time. And I'm going to cover all the things in Selenium Webdriver, all the commands, most of the commands, so that will be useful in your real time, day-to-day programming. So while you are working on Selenium Webdriver. Okay. So any other questions? Do you give hands-on experience? I didn't understand. What is hands-on experience? So you mean to say what? Can you elaborate that question? Hands-on experience means? Practical sessions involved in this training. Practical sessions, yes. So the practical sessions is like how to install Selenium, how to install Java, how to configure Eclipse, and everything. I'll make sure that who are the participants there in this session, and make sure that everybody is able to set up Selenium Eclipse and they are able to run the scripts. So whenever this is a critical one where the new setup comes, I'll make sure that everybody is going to install on their machines. I'll check each and every person's machines, and I'll make sure that they have correctly installed or configured Eclipse and Selenium on their machines. Yes, we do that. Practical sessions also involved this Friday. So even installing Selenium IDE also. Whenever I raise a new topic, or whenever I'm discussing about a new topic which requires some installations and everything, so then I'll make sure that everybody is installed on their machines. Then only I'll continue to the next one. Otherwise you are going to lose the practice and everything. And even we have a recorded videos feature also, so that by using those recorded videos you can easily recap all the sessions. So any other questions? And if you guys don't have any questions, I'll stop this session. Okay, then I'll stop this session and we'll meet tomorrow again. Okay? Okay, thanks guys.